Everybody, Ralph Havens here. Excuse me. And we are going to be live on YouTube in just a second. And then later it'll be on Facebook. So I'm going to set this up so it's working just fine for us. And here we go. This one is called End Anxiety Forever. And, you know, for many years, I had a secret that I was trying really hard to keep. I had severe anxiety, and it was showing up as a really weird thing because I couldn't hide it in a lot of ways, because I also had a very severe sweating problem. My hands would sweat, my feet would sweat, my body would sweat. It was incredible how much somebody could sweat. And I remember it'd be like, I remember one time I was trying to get treatment to fix up my body so I could run better. And I was going to a therapist, and I knew I was the guy paying him to work on me. So there was no pressure. All I was going to have to do was lay on a table. But I was so full of anxiety sitting there in the waiting room. And when I would walk in, I'd walk in and he would say, okay, he'd check me out and he'd lay on the table. And when I would lay on the table, my entire body would like just break out in this enormous sweat, and the whole table would be drenched, just drenched. It got to the point where he had to put a sheet down, and then it would just totally drench out. And then he would take the sheet off, and I think he put another sheet on or something. And then I was calm. It's like I had to go through this like kind of thing. And I remember another time I was working on a client, and he wanted his other therapist, a really advanced therapist, to come watch. So I think the guy was an acupuncturist. And so he was there in the office, and I was so stressed out, and for who knows what reason, right? And there I was with my client who was paying me money, and then thought very highly of me, still thinks highly of me. And he actually had a sweating problem with his hands. So he maybe could relate a little bit. We never talked about it because it's a thing that I was trying to hide. But here he was with this acupuncturist watching me work. And when I was starting to work on my client, my entire body went into this profuse sweating thing, and just drenched my whole shirt. I tried to act like I was like calm and working, and I knew what to do. It's not like I didn't know how to treat my client or how to work on things or do things. I didn't know, I knew what I was talking about. It's like there was no reason to be so anxious. But there I was, and that's how it happened. And I would do really funny things, like try to have music on that would calm me, and I would not drink coffee on days that I would go to work, and try to keep the air cool and ventilated, and only wear certain types of shirts that, I always wore a t-shirt so that it would soak up some of the sweat, hopefully before it got to hit my outer shirt. And now I wear extra shirts because it's a little cool. But I used to run really hot, and it was crazy. So for years I tried to do it, and I tried to fix it, and I tried many, many different things. I tried hypnosis, and I tried relaxing and meditating, and nothing was really working well. I mean, one thing that helped a little bit was I ran a lot of miles. So I ran over 70 miles a week for many years, many years, and up to 130 miles in a week. And it helped my running and helped me be a better runner. But but when I would run, I would finally relax. And so as long as I kept myself running a lot and didn't drink too much coffee, especially before I worked on people, and did all these things to try to stay calm, it sort of was helpful, but I still had this problem. So throughout the years, I kept thinking, I don't want to be some 80 or 90-year-old guy and still having this sweating problem. I would take dance classes, and I'd be so terrified about the next partner to practice with. And I remember one time, this one person was just like, she called me out on it. She's like, "Oh my God, your hands are sweating. This is really gross." And I'm like, sorry. And so it stopped me from doing a lot of stuff, including dating. And I just wanted to fix it. It's like, I don't want to be some old guy and still having this crazy problem that doesn't make sense. So that's what I was, a deep, dark desire that I wanted to change. And I didn't know how to do it. But what happened was I what happened? So basically, I was in 2000, February of 2000. I had been I built a successful practice, a physical therapy practice in San Diego, and I had therapists working for me, and I was doing all my workarounds to look calm, and I had very good skills in all sorts of areas to help people, and I went to a class, Sharon Giammatteo's class, medical intuitive class. It was on men's and women's health issues. And it was really changed my life because I could see how people could heal so much faster if you could find what the body was protecting them from. That was the key of that kind of work. And it's still my basis for how I do things is if you could find the thing of what somebody's protecting themselves from, and I'll explain that and how that works, then the body could actually heal. And so it's kind of like a river that's polluted. And if you can find where the pollution's coming in and stop that, the river will heal. And there's many kind of aspects of that. Like if you have a cut and it's not healing, then it's kind of like that. You know, if it's not healing, maybe it's infected and you need to get the infection cleared out and then it'll heal. Or if it's not healing, maybe the person is diabetic and you need to get their blood sugar under control and then it'll heal. So the idea is, you know, you can't heal this cut, but the person can heal the cut if the reasons the cut is there is cleared out, the infection or the blood sugar problem or whatever it is. And so when I took Sharon's class, she showed us that. And there was a time early on in taking those classes that I couldn't run, and it went on for about 8 months, and I couldn't run. And so there I was. My anxiety was even off the charts now because I couldn't even run. And plus I loved running and I couldn't do it. And so I tried so many different things. I tried orthotics and I tried many different types of orthotics, different kinds of therapy. I tried the therapy that we were using for ourselves and for our clients, and nothing was working. So I finally went to a therapist that did this medical intuitive work in Los Angeles. And she put one hand on my foot and said, "You have an artery problem. Your problem is arteries." And so she spent 2 hours working on my heart with very specific techniques, energetic and very light touch techniques on my heart. And I instantly felt very relaxed. And I decided to go ahead and test it out. So a couple of days later, I remember I was in Sacramento taking a class just 2 days later. And I brought my running stuff because I thought, I think I can run. And I went for a run along the American River and able to run. No more problems, totally gone, perfectly good. And that running injury never came back. So it started me on this journey of learning this technique and these techniques of how to find what the body is protecting somebody from, and then clearing that, and then they can actually heal. And I ended up taking 110 classes over 10 years. What I noticed was some other stuff started to change. So I kept working on myself and working on my heart and working on my arteries and working on other parts of my body. And I would take classes and they would work on me in class. And then I kept going up to the lady in LA and getting worked on every 6 weeks. And what happened was I had a problem with my teeth as well. So my teeth had lots of problems, cavities every single 6 months and for my whole life, and lots of dental work, teeth pulled, bridges, an implant, all sorts of stuff always going on. I was always paying off a dentist, always had a big bill that I was paying off, and it was the same dentist. And he just told me, "Oh, it's your teeth, Ralph. They're just soft. It's just your DNA. It's just how it is. But don't worry, you can just pay it off over time, and this is just how it's going to go." But what started happening was I kept going to the dentist every 6 months, and I no longer had cavities. And that was 22, 23 years ago. And I haven't had any cavities, any problems, any reasons to have any dental work done. So 37 years of having problems with my teeth, and then now 23 years of no problems. And so that's not the kind of thing that tends to happen in the regular medical world, right? You don't just, after 37 years of having a problem, all of a sudden don't have the problem. But you do with this work, because it was getting to the root cause, what my body was protecting me from, more things around my heart and my arteries and other areas of my body. that were causing my body to break down. And it was showing up as my teeth. But once it was cleared, my teeth were well. Well, what started happening was every time I went to class, I looked and felt younger. I mean, people were commenting about it and I felt better. Like I would go to class for 3 days and come back straight to work, and you would think that would tire you out. But I actually felt better and looser and lighter, and my running was better. And I was getting healthier as I did this. And what started to happen was my anxiety started to go away. And at first I was like, oh, I don't want to say anything about it because I don't want to jinx it, you know? And, but more and more and more and more, it started going away. And this took a lot of years. But about 3 years, I think. And then it was pretty much gone. And then over the next few years, it really just completely cleared out to the point that, oh, I can actually talk about it. Because for many years, I didn't talk about it because I didn't want to jinx it. And I didn't want to tell people what it was. It was such a shameful feeling to have that happening. But now it's been gone for a long, long time. I can drink coffee, I can work on people, I can run or not run, and feel just fine and do these kind of videos, which I would have never been able to do before. So what I found was that there's a way to do this even quicker as I've been going through the work that I've been doing. And part of the work that I did was, well, anyway, now there's a way to do this much faster. And so that's the information I want to get out to you, that there's a way to not have to go through years of doing this and figuring this out on your own. There's a way to find very precisely what it is that's slowing you down or standing in your way or stopping you from healing, from getting well, whether it's anxiety or a sweating thing or some other condition. So, so through all that, it was a blessing because I learned how to help people do this. And I think that was maybe the bigger transformation of the whole thing was it made me a better person. You know, having this problem actually spurred me on to learn how to shift it for myself and for my clients. And now it's something that I can do, and it's been a blessing. So I want to leave you with that today. And you know, with these sessions, even when I'm talking and just seeming to just kind of talk and ramble on, there's a matrix energetics component to this, which means that there's a transmission of an energetic transmission. And you can actually be different simply from the chair that you're in watching these videos. I have clients and other people that watch these videos over and over again. I do many videos and they have them on and they report back to me all these wonderful changes that happen just by watching the videos. So let me know what changes for you. You might want to notice and check what's changing for you, and let me know. And if you want more information about how to do this for yourself, I've got some really cool stuff to give you. There's a mind deep inner game part of this, as you can imagine, to shift these kind of healing things that really get to the core of what your body's protecting you from. And there's a way to find it and clear it. And so I have a technique. I do it every morning to keep clearing more and more of what's in the way of my dreams. Everybody continues to have more and more things they want to do, right? Even after you solve certain problems. So if you want what I'm using right now that I found as a way to quickly find and go right to and clear what's in the way. It's a deep inner game component that I want to let you have access to. You can go grab it. It'll be on the descriptions. It'll be in the links once it's up on YouTube and in the podcast and everything, and on the Facebook Live. So look for that. It's at www.ralphhavens.com/enlighten up. www.ralphhavens.com/enlightenup.com. So look for that and let me know how you feel after watching this video. All right, everybody, let's get out there and live. Let's really live.